Hi there, this is Greg, the Masked Gaymer, and I'm coming to you with another Final Girl Friday. Today we are going to be taking Kate to fight the organism at station 28091, 2891, 2891, whatever the fudge it's called, and we're going to be using the Lawrence scenario book, doing the cold as ice scenario. So we're going to have some story time where we talk about the organism, and hopefully I'll remember to talk about Kate, because last time I forgot to talk about Ellen. For those of you that are new to this channel, this is a place for COVID cautious folks to talk about board gaming. It is also open to non-COVID cautious folks, provided there is no minimization, denialism, or harassment. But that all said, I'm here by myself today because this is a solo game, and so I do not need to wear a mask, but I do wear masks whenever friends are here to play games. All right, so Final Girl again, solo only game, so you can only play it by yourself. But if you do have a precocious 6-year-old, like I was a precocious 6-year-old, I would probably have been into watching a parent play Final Girl as long as they did voices and stuff like that, because I loved horror movie stuff. Okay, so the organism at station 2891. When Chief Scientist Samuel Lessard enticed Kate Carpenter, to join him to do some very important biological research in the Arctic, she had no idea she would be fighting for her life at Station 2891 in Antarctica. Unbeknownst to the other scientists, researchers, and staff at the station, Lessard had developed a mutagenic virus that could, in theory, transform humans into superhuman versions of themselves with incredible strength, speed, and toughness. It was time to test the virus on human subjects, but knowing the risks, his client, the redacted for reader safety government, insisted on a remote location and secrecy. Not even his fellow residents of the station could know about the experiment, well, at least not until the subject's performance could be observed. To cover as many bases as possible, Lessard recruited scientists from a variety of backgrounds, blood types, builds, genders, and ethnicities. To avoid any suspicion, he brought some parasitic worms with him and injected them with the virus. They were the perfect introduction vehicle and would do all the work by finding a human host all on their own. He only had to preserve them until they reached the warmth of the station and then release them and wait. If the virus worked, the mutations would quickly follow, and it would be quite evident if it was successful. This is such a sick story. Just a few days after their arrival at the station and the release of the parasitic worms, strange incidents of sabotage began to occur. There were no noticeable physical mutations, but someone or something at the station wasn't what they appeared. Soon after, the killing started. Lessard pulled Kate into the tool shed and, realizing what a grave mistake he had made, told her everything. Kate was understandably livid. She almost killed Lessard herself in that moment, but he begged for mercy and told her he could show her how to test the others for the virus using simple materials. For her own sake and that of the other innocents at the station, she decided to spare him and learn how to administer the test and what reactions to look for. Armed with this information, she turned to leave the lab. As she did, Lessard spoke. "I'm sorry, Kate." She turned back and opened her mouth to speak, but when she saw Lessard raising the old revolver to his head, she instead just turned around to leave the room and focus on her new task, survival. Let's hear about Kate. Kate Carpenter. Kate Carpenter. Oh, this one. Kate Carpenter. Kate, they look almost identical because they're wearing winter suits. Okay. Kate Carpenter loved science. From a very early age, she had dreamed of walking alongside dinosaurs, traveling on a spaceship to planets unknown, or joining a deep sea exploration to find creatures never seen by human eyes. Her dreams never faltered, and after she graduated with honors from a major university, she began her career as a biologist. Kate loved field work and was always jumping at the chance to get out there and see, or rather research, the world. She had no idea how much that love would put her life at risk, and in ways she could never imagine. Some tips for playing with Kate that I will forget and ignore and die. Kate is resilient despite her lower than average health. She can get reaction cards from saving victims, and if she unlocks her ultimate ability, her health immediately increases to a much higher amount. Keep her health at maximum using guard and rest to benefit from rolling an extra die for all horror rolls. Okay, so scenario 1. Cold as ice. Oh, and just a reminder, we're going to be cycling through the different stories instead of playing. So we're not doing all the Evamorphs at once, the organisms at once. We're gonna alternate every week, and I mean that's 25 weeks worth of content. So even if I keep on top of it, that's going to take us a while. Oh, and then I'll start mixing in the season 3 ones because they're going to come before season 2 is done. Anywho, cold as ice. Pow! The shot rang out in the tool shed behind Kate as she traversed the snow-covered ground. It was nothing less than he deserved, she thought. The light was fading, and Kate looked across the grounds towards the commander's hut. She was not alone out here. Her instincts told her to go see who else was out here, since the snowfall and their heavy coats made it impossible to tell. Not to mention it could be dangerous, and she had no idea who she could trust. And then, it was certainly no accident, the fire alarm went off. Final girl is Kate, set up is quitting time. We start with the old revolver in the tool shed because, that dude shot himself there. The first event is going to be someone pulled the fire alarm. We're not going to talk about the rest of that, but we do start bloodlust by one, increase bloodlust by one at the start because What's-His-Face just shot himself in the What's-His-Face. So, someone, here we go. Let's pull nope, wrong way. Let's pull our little map up. Someone pulled the fire alarm. This is not a drill. You and all victims in the main building panic. I can spend 2 time to keep myself from panicking. I'm not going to keep myself from panicking. I'm going to panic. I don't care. 2, good. I ran right into the tool shed where I can find the gun that I can't find because don't have a search card. Anyway, let's panic all the victims in the main building. That's a lot of them. This is going to go through 3. There's no 3. This is going to go through 5 to the rec room. I'm going to lay it down just so I remember I moved it already. 6 into the lab. On the top phase, we have 3, and we have 3. And in the rec room, we have 5 into the hallway. And we have 4 into the hallway. And from that hallway, we have 6 into the rec room. We have 1 runs outside where it's nice and cold. Okay, so our potential suspects are still in the rec room, the hallway, and hovering around outside. Good to know. Let's discard that card. Boom. Okie dokie smoky. So we start at a fear of 5, which is a shitty fear threshold to be in. Since I am in the tool shed and I'll be able to investigate from there anyway, I'm going to just focus this first turn on trying to focus. And I, of course, I'm going to disappear off the camera because I left my dice tray somewhere else last night because I was playing Terrorscape and I was playing Edge of Darkness, 2 games that I'll never cover on here because I don't play them solo, but it was exciting and they were great games and I recommend them. All right, so let's see. We're going to try to focus. And we have rolled a kind of miss. And we're going to discard that short rest and that weak attack to make that a kind of success, get some of that fear back. We're going to focus again. Oops, we're not going to count that one because I knocked it. Okay, we have 1 success and I could discard 2 for another. I'm not going to discard 2. I'm just going to take that 1 success. And then I have 2 walks, which I'm not going to use, but I am going to... which I'm going to hold on to for later. I am going to, what do I want to do with that? I don't want to put a person, you're a person, you're a person. I don't really know what I want to do with this 2-way radio yet because everyone is so far away from the helicopter. I'm just going to hold on to it and use that time. I'm going to try to be a little bit more tactical today than I usually am in Final Girl. So we have 4 time to spend, which means we can get both search cards and do quite a lot of searching the next round, bringing us up to 6 here. And then we move on to the killer phase. There is no killer action yet because there is no killer yet. So we just reveal a tarot card. Someone is destroying the tests. We're going to discard the test kit from the location closest to us. So I lose the test kit from the brother truckin', from the tool shed. Well, that sucked. Then 1 normal victim within 2 spaces of the associated thing is killed, but there is no victim there. So there's no killer yet. So that's weird. I guess that means there's just this move 2 towards the nearest person just doesn't do anything right now because they're still just people. That's how I'm going to read it. We're going to say that's how it is. Okay, then there is nothing in the panic phase and nothing happens in the upkeep phase. So we move on to my next action phase. This sucks because I was going to be able to get that test kit for free with my search action, but I'm not going to be able to. But we are still going to search because we want that old revolver. We got 1 success, so I spend 1 time and take that old revolver, which it can only modify the weak attack card, but at least I can use it at range 1. I'm going to search again, hopefully find something of more use. I did get a success, luckily, so we're going to lower that to there and check out this success. Oh, I found a flare gun. This can also only be used with the weak attack. If damage is done to the killer, I get less stress. It can also be used to move all victims that are outdoors 1 space closer to you. That's cool. I'm going to just kind of hang on to that on the side there and put 2 bullets on it. And I'm realizing before anybody died that I also forgot my handy little tablet that I was going to use to read the gruesome deaths. So I'm going to disappear out of frame yet again. This is going to be the best, the absolute best playthrough ever that I am completely unprepared for because this was a wild, wild week at work and it kicked my little booty, but everything's fine. Everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine. Let's find our gruesome deaths book. Here it is. All right. Still the USS Conrad. Wait, is this just the USS Conrad? Oh, I think each of them are different books. Yeah, okay. So I have to go back to station 21. All right, I've got the book now. We're ready. Everything's going to be perfect. It's going to be great from here on out. Okay, I searched twice. I have 2 walks. I'm going to try to... The thing is, unless I can actually get somewhere useful, I don't think it makes sense to spend these. Because if I end up outside and then I get frostbitten, that's going to be bad news bears for me. So instead of that, I'm going to just hold on to these walks yet again. I'm going to take these back into my hand. I can't believe I just held those walks the whole time. I'm going to spend 2 for a sprint. I'm going to spend 2 for another sprint because both searches were in the discard pile. Pop those searches back over here. And we're going to try to get some rescuing going on this next turn. Note the word try. Okay. So with that said, we go on to the killer phase and we're going to draw another tarot card. Have you seen how disgusting it is? If there is no mutated organism in play, discard this and draw the next tarot card. I see. So that finale comes real fast if nothing's gotten exposed yet. It must be you. If there are no victims on the board, discard this and draw the next tarot card. Otherwise, if there are any victims in your space, take 1 damage per victim. Then, in each space with at least 2 victims, and at least 1 is a normal victim, 1 normal victim is killed. Holy crap. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dead victims in 1 turn. Oh, right. We get to read what happened to those 4. Let's see here. Gruesome deaths. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. That's general deaths from frostbite. General deaths from events. General events from... Oh, is it all monsters? It can't be all monsters. Hold on. I think that counts as an organism card. So we're going to go to page 14. Bum, 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 bum. 14. That's a fast organism. Strong organism. Tough organism. Here we go. There is a story for this one. I knew it. No one knew who they could trust. All over the station, fingers were being pointed and blame was being laid. It was kill or be killed, and no one would ever know if the fallen were just normal people or an organism in disguise. Well, they have to be normal people because the test subjects are not the... Anyway, whatever. For now, the survivors moved on with no guilt about their decision. That would come later for any who might survive. So, literally, for me, that is now impossible for me to unlock my ultimate because there are only 4 survivors remaining, and I would have had to rescue 6 of them to do that. So that was absolutely terrible. And this goes up 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Oh, I forgot to reveal what my super secret signature action is going to be for this encounter, and it is ambush. It can only be played as a reaction when the killer moves into your space. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, but we don't even know who the killer is yet because we don't. Is there any point of trying to rescue people when I can't unlock my ultimate and it's just going to make bad things happen faster? I don't think there even really is. So I think next time I know to separate people, that would have been smart. But I'm going to just try to get to that commander's hut and get that test kit before it disappears. But the first thing, oh, yeah, but is there extra scary? No, there's not extra scary. So I'm going to first try to focus to get myself some better cards for all of this walking and running. So let's try to focus first. Nice. 2 successes. That gives me 2 more time and lowers my horror by 1. So I can definitely try to do that again to get an extra dice on the next go. Got 1 success. So I lose 1 of this. And now I can roll 3 dice instead of 2 dice while I sprint towards the commander's hut. And I rolled a bunch of not hits. So we're going to discard that short rest and that weak attack since we can't fight yet to move up to 2 spaces, losing 1 time. We're going to try to sprint again to see if we can get 2 successes and get right into that space. Of course, we don't. So we're going to discard our last 2 cards to move 2 more spaces to here. I'm not going to use the walkie-talkie yet still because... Did I lower that? No. We're not going to use the walkie-talkie yet still because I don't know if there's really any point. I feel like everybody's just dead. And we get 5 dice. 5 cards. I'm not going to be able to search this round because I've used all of my movement stuff. That's not enough for that ambush. I am going to get 1 search. You know, I'll just get both searches now and be it what it may, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out next time. That's the plan here. It's not a good plan, but it's a plan. Let's see who dies next. It senses we are vulnerable. If there is no mutated organism in play, panic each victim in or adjacent to a item space. So this one's going to go, doesn't go anywhere. And the one in the commander's hut doesn't go anywhere. And the one by the bulldozer runs into the commander's hut. Which is okay. And then there would be movement and attacking, but there's no monster yet, so that doesn't happen. But as we can see, it is just a false sense of security that we have had. All right. So I have 2 searches and a close call, none of which can do a gosh darn thing. So I am going to go ahead and take, this is 6, which means this is 9, which means I can buy 1 card, which is going to be ambush. So we have that ambush now for when a killer comes out. Because, yeah, we have it. It's great. Okay, cool. That was that. Okie dokie. So, a terror card yet again. The generator is out. The fire alarm was pulled. The generator was out. We don't remove any frostbite tokens during the next upkeep phase, but I don't think frostbite happened. I think that only happens from an effect, doesn't it? Or did I screw that up? I might have screwed that up. No, it's only when that icon happens. So the icon didn't appear. So we don't remove any during the next upkeep phase. We are going to draw 2 events. So the first event is, there's been an accident in the lab. That sounded like an explosion. An explosion has occurred in the lab. Anyone in the lab immediately takes damage. Place the whole token over the bottom wall of the lab. Oh, okay. Well, now we could have gone inside easier. The lab is now adjacent to the outdoor space next to it. Discard this card. Well, let's see what happened to whoever happened to run into the lab. That is, no, it's an event card. Those are tarot cards. Oh, no, this is going to be at the beginning. Okay. There is, what was that called? There's an accident in the lab. You know, this is Randy from Scream, who didn't die and flew to station 2891. He was like, I know where I need to be. I need to be in the lab. This is going to be my legacy, Randy thought. The samples they pulled from object KA525 were biological, but were failing conventional analysis. Everything was pointing to extraterrestrial origin. Visions of awards and unlimited grants danced in his imagination. He grabbed the nearest sample, a viscous green liquid in a plastic beaker, and smiled lovingly. Oh, he cried as an intense pain shot through his hand. The sample was leaking through the plastic, and the acidic liquid had burned a hole through his palm. In his panic, he knocked over a host of materials, including a lit Bunsen burner. Randy and his dreams went up in flames. And we get yet another bloodlust. So, yeah. This is going to be bad. We draw another event. But we found a hidden weapons cache, even though we have 2 weapons. I heard a rumor about a trove of buried weapons. Shuffle the armory tokens. Okay. Let's see, that's armor. How many armory tokens are there? There's 1, 2, 3 armory tokens. 4 armory tokens. Shuffle the armory tokens and place one face down in each of the 4 outdoor spaces, excluding the exit space. When you move into one of these spaces, reveal the token. If it has an X, you discard it. If it has a gun, it's the armory. You can take all of the unused weapon cards, shuffle them, create an armory deck, and search that space. Well, I mean, that would be great, except I already have 2 weapons, and I have nothing to kill. Anyway, a killer thing would happen, but that doesn't happen. Frostbite would happen, so I get a frostbite token, which means that if this happens again, I would lose 1 health. And during the upkeep phase, I don't get to discard it, even if I'm indoors. And then the helicopter moves. Does that mean the helicopter must move? No, the helicopter may move, which we're not going to do because nobody's on the freaking helicopter because we didn't save anybody and we're going to die. Okay. So, but here's the thing. Why is nobody changed yet? Am I missing something? You could do that. Oh, if they die and they're the organism, they would turn into the organism immediately. I see. Okay. All right. I get it. Okay, so our turn. First things first is we are going to want to walk into that room with all of those people, because being around people who might kill you is smart. And we got 1 success, so we get to walk into the commander's hut. Now we get to actually find some things again, we hope. We're going to search. 2 successes. I get to take the top 2 item cards in my space and choose one, paste the other on top or face down. We are going to finally get one of these test kits. Let's see if we want the axe or the knife. Of course, it's more weapons. We're going to take the axe and put the knife at the bottom. And while we're here, we are going to search again. And we got 1 success, so we're going to get 1 more item from there. which is the Scudozer keys. I can now use the Scudozer. The Scudozer must remain outdoors. It can be used for any of the following effects. You can move to any outdoor space, or when in the outdoor space just outside the lab, place the hole there. But this is kind of cool because I can use this to try to rescue these two people that I'm with. That's nice. So we're gonna walk, rolling these, and we get to move one space, which is all we need to move. So we're going to take them with us, and then we're going to use the Scudozer to go to the helicopter. We're going to put these two folks in the helicopter, and then I'll try to get those fly faster cards next time to get that thing moving. Let me see. I may freely move it to the Arctic space. Okay, so that can go over here with those victims on it. Oh, was I supposed to check? I think I was supposed to check these things as soon as I entered the spaces. Yes, I moved into this space, which was the armory cache. So I will take all of the weapon cards from the unused items, which is a flamethrower and a flare gun. So we know that there's a flamethrower in the armory there. And these don't matter. We know they're X's now, so those can go away. And, oh, I'm outside and I might get frostbite. So that's not great. Okay. Can I use that at any time? Maybe used for either of the following effects. Move to any outdoor space or when the outdoors. It doesn't say once per turn. So I'm gonna make an assumption, and it's probably a bad one, but I'm gonna make an assumption that I can move it anywhere that I want. So we're gonna use that to move me here, and I'm going to test the exposed victim in my space and see if it's been assimilated. So I'm going to come up with like the biggest, nastiest one that's going to like just freaking one-shot me, because that's what's going to happen. But, oh, and I don't even have a decent weapon equipped, only the old revolver. Okay, well, this monster has been assimilated. We are going to reveal the mutated organism and apply the current bloodlust and then shuffle this back into the deck. So let's see if we can get all three of them going here. This is the fast one. I don't know what it's called, so I don't know, but it's here. So this one has 5 health. During the killer phase, the killer will panic. Okay, that's interesting. Here's a thing for it. Oh, the killer. That's funny. The killer panics a lot. So we have to apply all of these effects immediately to this little monster. Moving on up. So first, it panics, and it's going to run here. Then it panics again, and it's going to run here. Then it will attack a non-final girl in its space, but it's only the final girl in the space. So I'm going to assume that doesn't happen. Or does it? Does it attack me? Did I come up with this last time? And I believe that if it doesn't say, no, it's just closest victim. The final girl is not a victim. Okay, so it doesn't attack me. It's going to panic again, going through 4, which is here. Then it is going to draw an event card. Pair up. Everyone stay together. No one should be alone. We're going to remove all of the victims that are alone from a space on the board and place them 2 at a time in the following locations until none are left. If there are an odd number of victims, we will add 1 new victim before placing the final 2. So 2 of these go in the kitchen, which is here, and 2 of them go in the radio room, which is here. So at least I put the bad guys with each other. Let me discard this card. And this monster gets an extra health. I don't know if that can bring it past its maximum. We're just going to say it can because things have been going pretty bad as it is. So why not let them continue to go pretty bad? The good news is it's still my turn. Was I supposed to wait? No. So I can attack it now because I'm in the next space over and I have the old revolver. Can I change my weapons now? To the current level of bloodlust, we can. I think I can switch these weapons now. But the flare gun's not going to do extra damage for me, and my health is kind of good. So we're going to go ahead and use this weak attack on using the old revolver to shoot at the killer. And we got 1 success. So we are going to do 2 damage to it because the gun does an extra damage, and I take a damage. And I took a damage, so therefore I will short rest. And that was 2 successes, so I heal 2. I can only heal 1 because that's my maximum. And I don't want to use that focus yet. Yeah, I'll use that focus now to try to get myself down below where I want it. Yep, okay, so that took up 1 time and got me a little bit safer. Holding on to the ambush, holding on to these things. I have 1 point, which I'm going to use to get fly faster. And that was that turn. And so we're going to put our cards back here. And now the monsters do go. So on this killer's turn, all it does is panic. So it's going to run inside because that's what it does. And then we draw a terror card. It could be anywhere or anyone. If there are no exposed victims, discard this. However, that's not the case. Roll a die for each normal victim. If a 1 is rolled, it trades spaces with the farthest exposed victim. I rolled a 1. I rolled a 3, so now they're separated. And now the killer is going to move 3 spaces towards the nearest victim to kill. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and kill this. And I think it will always. It will not be killed by a mutated organism, so it would have always killed this one. So let's see what happens to this poor person, this poor person who got run into the room with. Here's a fast organism. It is a general kill 4. Leg after leg tapped the ground as the atrocity skittered towards its victim. Their coat, though excellent for protection against the cold, was not sufficient in helping them survive the plethora of blows that came. When the taps on the ground became taps on the victim, it resulted in their bludgeoning death. The body, battered and bruised, was ready for assimilation. And that means that this goes up, which triggers the monster moving towards the nearest victim or the final girl, whichever is closer. So it's going to go kill. Nope, the final girl is closer. So it's going to come here. Luckily, when the be killed. Am I supposed to be? Have I been? I feel like I've been messing up a rule here somewhere. Let me just check something because I feel like. No, it's just the bloodlust level, not the fear that goes up. Okay, so I get to use this ambush card, which luckily I have. We're going to roll these 3 things. We got 1 success on that. I am going to discard my focus and my close call to make a 2nd success out of that, which means I do 2 damage to the killer and immediately end the killer phase. So I believe that means that everything else on this card, nothing happens with. So cool beans for me. I don't have any attack cards, though. All I have in my hand is fly faster. Does this victim panic? Oh, shit. Oh, sorry, pardon my French. So apparently, during every panic phase, these guys were supposed to be running around the building, and they had not been doing so. Um, I don't think it would have made it any different based on how terrible things are going. So yeah, yeah. So yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So next, it becomes our turn to fly faster. So we're gonna play fly faster. We have gotten no successes. I can lose 2 time and resolve the card again. That's what I'm going to do. I still have no successes. I'm going to spend 2 time and resolve the card again. Ah, 1 success. So the plane moves into the air. And I have 1 point left, which I'm going to use for close call. And these random little things. Okay. Okay. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, I can use the Scudozer. I should have used the Scudozer. We're going to use the Scudozer to have moved over to the armory, just to try to hide a little bit from this monster and kill it before something else bad happens. Okay. Monster phase. So the killer panics and runs through 6 right after me, and then we draw a terror card. It just absorbed them. If there is no mutated organism in play, panic all exposed victims and get a fear. Otherwise, it's going to move towards the nearest victim and attack twice. Bye. Oh, we have to see what happened to them now. Dun, dun, dun. This was L Woods. Elle hardly knew what was happening. The mutant seemed to have an infinite number of legs. It bounced off a wall and slammed into her, the legs piercing her skin, and then its mouth expanded to an inhuman size, and she laid helplessly and watched as it surrounded her entire head. Her screams bounced off its inner cheeks and reverberated into her own ears until it clamped down, severing her head and absorbing it. And this, discard the next terror card. Great. If a victim was killed, the mutated organism recovers 1 health. Okay. All right. My turn. Victim. Oh, these victims will follow me. They just can't be saved. Now I see. I'm going to keep that old revolver so that I can shoot that thing from the hallway. We're going to roll these 3 dice to move 1. Oh, we'll start here. Cool. So we're going to move 1 space into the hallway, which means during the next upkeep round, my frostbite will go away. So that's good. We're going to use weak attack to shoot at that organism with the old revolver. And we are going to discard a close call and a focus to turn one of these into a success so that we take 1 damage and we do 2 damage, which means that I now get to roll 1 extra dice because it only has 1 dice left in its pool. We could short rest, but I think instead we're going to short rest first and try to heal that 1 wound. We healed 2 wounds, so we're back to our full health of 4. And then we're going to go ahead and walk our friends into the lab. Simply bring them to the lab. Oh, I think that happens as soon as I bring them to the lab, but sure. I mean, we only moved 1 space anyway, so we'll just be on our way to the lab. And then I get to draw 3 cards from here. That thing's probably going to attack me, so I'm going to go ahead and take a guard, and we'll take another fly faster. And then these things go back into our pool. I don't know why I still have this 2-way radio. That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to give myself the flare gun. Not that that necessarily makes any sense either. No, we're going to go ahead and give ourselves the axe, which takes up 2 hands, so that we're ready to slice and dice when the time comes. So first, the killer panics and goes through 4. which is great because I'll be able to shoot it and kill it before anything like that happens. It's not safe here. Each victim that is adjacent to a hallway moves into the hallway. They're still victims, so they're in the hallway. Panic, one victim from each tool space, there is none. Raise scariness by 2. Get a frostbite if you're outside, doesn't happen. And the helicopter moves, which means I get to rescue 2 people. So I'm going to use this to take retaliate, because that's good. We're going to use this to move 1 space into here. Okay, now well, why would I do that? It's going to attack me anyway. That's all fine. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's what we did. Oh, and I get to lose my scaredness. So now every victim panics. Well, these 2 victims panic, rather, which I forgot to do before. So this one runs outside because it's very smart, and they both run outside because they're both very smart, so I'm glad I moved that extra space to get closer to them for next time. And now it's my turn. When I play a fly faster, I get to roll 4 dice now because the killer only has 1 health. 2 successes. So this is going to come back to the Arctic station and come back here. Not that that's going to necessarily do a gosh darn thing for us, but it's there. I have a guard, I have a retaliate, I have a focus. Oh, I should have rolled 1 less dice, but I'd rolled 2 successes, so it would have been 2 successes either way. Now I'm going to try to focus and get my focus back up. 2 successes, brings us up to 7, brings that down to 1. And now I have 7 that I can spend, which is very nice. I need to get them to the thing. So we're going to get 2 sprint. That leaves me with 3 more. So we'll take another guard. I don't even want, wait. We took 2 sprint. We get 6 of this. We have 5 of this. So that brings me to 9. So I can take another 3 points worth of stuff. Or yeah, I'm gonna, well, I had 1 guard already. So 2 sprints leaves me with 3. If I take ambush, I only have 1 left. If I take furious strike, I'm gonna take furious strike and a sprint is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so now we're at 6. We move on to the killer phase. The killer will panic and go outside with everybody else. And then this is the final card, so things are gonna get worse. They just left. If there are no victims in play, discard this card and draw another terror card. Otherwise, remove 1 normal victim from the game, choosing 1 in an outdoor space if able, and then increase the bloodlust. It'll move towards a person. If I think no matter what happens, the net of this is that that everybody outside gets frostbitten, but that that can kill these victims. Is that these 2 victims both get a frostbite? But then no more frostbite can happen. But we've now, they're both going to panic once because that's what they do. So they're going to the first one's going to stand there. Oh, that's 2 5 to 6s. That's interesting. Okay, well, they just stand there. And now we are going to reveal the finale, which we're nowhere near ready for. Reductive assimilation. Dun, dun, dun. When this card is revealed, any remaining exposed victims are immediately assimilated. Well, here they are. Oh, boy. So this one's got 6 lives. This one's got... So apparently the whole theme of this encounter was to just burn out my timing so that this horrible nightmare would happen. Oh, shoot. Oh, this didn't happen. If there's only 1 mutated organism in play and you are in its space at the beginning of the killer phase, you've been assimilated and lose the game. Oh, that's at the beginning of any killer phase. How am I going to do that? That's wild. I guess I have to keep shooting them from afar. Okay, well. Well, the good news is they're all in the same space. And I have an axe. Wow. Okay. I have a lot of cards to do movement with, though, so that's good. So we are, oh, we should go here. So we are going to try to walk into their space, and we successfully do. So here we are. And, oh, wait, I have to do all of these bloodlust things first. Hold on. So this walks to the nearest victim, nothing happens. This gains a threat. Attacks the nearest victim, nothing happens. Gains a threat. Gains a life. Draws an event. The comm specialist. We need a bird inside. Over. The victim closest to you, but not the well. There is no victim, so nothing happens there. Then it's going to move to me and attack me. However, it moves into my space, so I can ambush it. I don't have ambush. Never mind. It attacks me, so I can retaliate, which is currently going to be 3 dice because all of that fear went up. I can discard 1, 2, 3, 4 cards to turn that into ignore all damage from attack and do 2 damage plus 2 for the axe is 4 damage to that monster. Okay, that's that one. Then the next one goes, it moves towards a victim, draws an event. What's up, Doc? That's another victim thing. There's no doctor in play. This goes up 1 more. This heals 1. This goes up 1 more. It moves towards the nearest person and attacks, which is yet again me. I guard against it, rolling 3 dice. I get 1 success, which would reduce the damage by 2. So it does 1 damage to me. Okay. Now I can take my turn. Great. Now I can take my turn. I'm going to use Furious Strike on the one that has the most... At the start of the killer phase. Yeah, I'm going to use it on the big one. I completely missed. I take 1 damage. I get another terror. My turn ends immediately. So I can buy 6 cards worth of stuff. I'm going to buy guard for 2. That leaves me with 4. Distraction and close call. I'm acting like there's any chance of me winning this. There is not. This is dismal. All right, so now we are on. We're on the killer phase. So first, the big one is going to attack me for 3. I am going to. I only have 1 guard card. I'm going to hope I survive. I don't survive. Goodbye, Kate. Whew. That was all sorts of wrong. But wow, I had only played the second season things once a while back. They are so much more complicated and interesting than season 1, which just makes me more excited for season 3. Season 3 is going to be so awesome. Okay, so next time we are going to do the first Wingard estate against the intruders. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Do not forget, keep those health bars full. Thanks and have a great night.